Hi, this is Ryan Bodwick with Bodwick Watches, and this is my YouTube channel, I'm Watching You, where I modify decent watches to make them better, and I'm in the process of creating my own watch brand. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the Lume modification on the Pagani Design PD-1707. If you watch that video, you'll see the link in the description. I put the link of that unboxing, quick review, and mod plans that I have on that. Because this video took a while to do, I'm gonna have to do this in two segments. So I got the loom modification in one video, and then I'm gonna have the bracelet and ceramic coating modification in a second video. So today is the looming video. So let's turn the camera around and let's get to work.
Okay, this is going to be a really fun modification. By the end of the video, you'll see why I call this modification Electric Green. So the first part of this modification is to take the bracelet apart with the push pins so I could take the case back off. So this is one of my favorite case back removal tools. It's cheap and it does the job. Through a hard lesson experience, I've learned to protect the back of the case as to avoid any scratches. This part of the video I had to really edit down because I spent several minutes trying to find the detent to remove the crown. I've learned that unless you're a flea wearing reading glasses, you're going to be able to see it here, under that sign that says push. And then I gently remove the movement retainer ring with a sharp pair of tweezers. And then the movement just easily falls right out onto the movement cushion. And through a couple turns, I'll close the case back to avoid getting any dust inside the case. Okay, now I got my gloves on and I'm looking to put the crown back in to put the hour and minute hand to the midnight position so I can remove them with my hands removal tool. And through the hard knocks of life, I learned to protect the dial when removing the hands. Pagani Design wanted to make sure that these hands were on very secure. They were on really tight because you can hear a loud pop. Just like that when you take them off. So I'm going to take the hands and put them in this hand holder case. I don't know if that's really what it's called, but I use it for dials for hands just to put them off and close it up. Now for proprietary reasons, I can't give my formula for my quartz mixture that I do. This is something that's really unique to Bodwick watches, something that I really can't give away. It's one of the many things I hope to set me apart from other luxury brands. So I'm going to be using a fine tip brush to apply the quartz mixture onto each indice. And then after I do that, I'm going to set the movement aside to allow the solvents and the lacquer to fully cure. Through much trial and error, I've noticed all these spots that I'm pointing out here are really rough. And for the quartz to be really effective, it has to be smooth and polished. So I take a toothpick here and just polish every single one of these indices out to a smooth finish. And then after polishing, I take some Rodico and clean up all the dust. Hopefully you can see how smooth every one of these indices are now. So even though I buy my watch loom from watchloom.com, this is still just a little bit proprietary to Bodwick watches. But I do want to be as transparent as possible though. I find that transparency builds trust with my audience. So I got G for green. And the binder really is nothing more than Elmer's glue. Then I got my red oiler to apply the lume. And last but not least, I have a syringe to apply water to thin down the actual lume with. Once this lume mixture is thinned down, I notice that this is enough to do 3 dials over. There's several layers that I apply on this, very thin layers. I can't give that away because it's proprietary to Bogdewickwatches, watches, but I do apply very thin layers. You'll see here as I mix this up and then thin it down with water from the syringe. And then I just want to give you a quick lume shot, so that way you see how bright this lume is. Now you see that. The quartz is going to magnify that by 3. I've already applied several thin layers, and you can see how bright it already is. And as you see, as I point out here, these indices are kind of rough. So I'm going to polish them up with a toothpick in between each layer applied. Once I have several layers laid down, you see that dome effect that I have. I could leave it like that, but it wouldn't look very professional. So I'm going to polish these down flush to each indice. But before I do that, I'm going to set this off to the side for 24 hours to fully cure. I have a porcelain plate that I put the hands on that I'm going to strip all the lume off with. And what I use is simply just acetone on a cotton swab. It's okay to use acetone because these are stainless steel. Had these been painted hands, I wouldn't have been able to use acetone because it would have wiped the paint right off. And I would have had to resort to scraping the lume off. So I turn each hand over to make sure I get the front side as well, because the lume will leak through onto the front. So I'm just going to wipe this off real quick with the acetone. And then I set up a simple jig with a toothpick sticking out of Rodico and just place the hands face down on there so I can prepare them for lume. Now I didn't record all the layers that I applied on here, but these are very thin layers that I'm applying on each hand. The more layers you have, the brighter the lume's going to be. And then on the macro shot, you can see there's quite a few layers on here. And then I'll cover them up with a Dixie cup and let them set for 24 hours. And this is the step that I apply my quartz layer to the back of the hands. On the macro shot, hopefully you can see the crystalline structure in the quartz. And then next I move on to the dial, and I'm going to polish each indice flush. If you think about the science of light reflection, the smoother the surface, the more reflectivity it's going to have. Well, in this case, the smoother the surface, the deeper the light's going to penetrate. And off camera, I went and polished every single one of these indices out, and I get my Rodico and get rid of all of the dust. And then in this shot, I'm going to show you how smooth and flush every one of these indices are with the lume and the quartz. So in the beginning of the video, I said I'm going to call this Electric Green, and you're going to see why here in about 2 seconds. Check this out. That lume is so bright, it looks like it's powered by some battery or other electric source, hence Electric Green. So because everything is smooth, light was able to penetrate down to the quartz layer, where the quartz will refract and reflect the light many times over again through the lume, charging the lume over and over again to give this electric green feel. And now I'm setting the movement to midnight because I'm getting ready to set the hands. So you see in this shot that I set the hour hand, and I wanted to check the clearance of the hour hand to make sure that it's fully flush and straight on the dial. And then going the extra professional step, I take some Rodico and polish the hour hand. I'll do the same thing on the minute hand. And then I went and set the minute hand, and I'm going to check for clearance, just to make sure that the hour hand and the minute hand aren't touching either the indices or each other. Now check this out. I wanted you to see how close to midnight I got with setting these hands. You'll see that I got this set to 4 minutes to midnight. Can't get any better than that. Several hours have passed and you still see the lume is still pretty charged. But I'm going to charge it up again. I'm going to show you that full electric green. You can see underneath the hands how the quartz is refracting and reflecting the light over and over again and keep recharging the lume. Look how bright that is. That is electric green. So here's a tip for the pros. Anyone setting seconds hands knows it's impossible, especially on an ETA movement. It's basically impossible. So I stick a little Rodico on the end of my second setting hand tool and just set my seconds hand that way. And then I'm going to blow the dial off with my blower. Get rid of any dust that might have collected on the dial. Okay, I had to find McGee the flea with his reading glasses to look for that D10 again, so that way he can help me get the crown out. Set the movement on the movement cushion and get ready to case it up. One last blow. And then I'm going to put the crown stem back in the movement. Firmly place the plastic movement holder inside the case. And if anybody remembers my review and unboxing video, I said that I had OCD about the way that case back was. I wanted to try to get it as straight as I possibly could. I had to take this case back off many times over and over again. I still could not get it straight. And because of all the fingerprints on the outside of the crystal, I figured it would suit well just to use the Pagani Design microfiber cloth. And so now I'm going to set the hands to about 10 after 2. I want to get the hands perfect so that we can get a good lume shot of this. And here it comes for the electric green. Finalized. You'll see the final product. Look how bright that is. And I'm going to do a last test of all the functions and features, make sure the hands are all aligned, so that way I don't have to take the case apart to realign the hands again. Perfect.
All right, so there's the lume modification on the Pagani Design PD-1707. This was a lot of fun to do. I had a lot of fun doing this modification. Hopefully you had just as much fun watching the video and you see how bright that electric green really was on that Pagani Design PD-1707. if you're interested in having this modification done, I'll leave an email in the description where you can contact me and how we can make an exchange for doing this modification for your Pagani Design PD-1707 or any watch that you want to have re-loomed to have that electric green. I also have blue. I can do electric blue as well. It'll be really bright blue color as well. I can also do a patina, like a faux patina type thing, and it's still going to be just as bright, but it'll look like it's patinaed. And I like to end my videos with a segment of inspiration. I am an aspiring philanthropist. I want to add as much value to people's lives. And in today's video is going to be, if you're suffering from depression, how to help with that. So there's a study showing that depression is not a chemical imbalance in the brain, rather it's a learned behavior. And what it's called is learned helplessness, is the idea that the Board of Psychiatry is now coming out with. It's not an official diagnosis in the DSM-5 yet. I got to keep up with my DSM versions, but it's not a diagnosis in the DSM-5 version yet. But basically what depression is just your brain is exhausted from overthinking, over-worrying, over-analyzing, self-negative talk. It's just getting exhausted. And all you need to do to feel better about that is just relax. Just relax. Take some time and just figure out what it feels like for your body to relax, because if the body does, then the mind follows. So if you relax your body, your mind will start to relax as well. You need to take a nap? Take a nap. If you need to just sit down and chill and veg out in front of the TV, chill out and veg out in front of the TV. Give your mind a break. Give your mind a break from all the overthinking, overanalyzing, and self-rumination of negative self-talk. So I hope this video was amazing for you to watch this as much as it was to me. And again, like I said, I'm an aspiring philanthropist. I want to add as much value to people's lives as I possibly can. And if you decide that you want to purchase this modification for your watch, my email will be in the link in the description. I'll also include a price of what it's going to cost to do this lume modification. And a portion of what I earn from that is going to go towards helping the homeless. What I'll do with that money is I'll go out to a homeless person and buy them some food, or I'll give them a hotel room for a couple nights to a week. So if you're interested in helping support that, please look in the link of the description of this video, and there'll be a price breakdown of what I can do for this mod for you. And then, like I said, a portion of that will go towards helping the homeless. Anyway, I'm Ryan Bodgewick with Bodgewick Watches, and this is my YouTube channel. I'm watching you.